Hello everyone. So today we're going to be talking about the 5 things I love about my Omega Speedmaster. My favorite part about this watch is definitely the history. I personally studied aerospace engineering, so I really like space and NASA and stuff like that, so I really appreciate this watch's connection to that industry and the Apollo program. So I think it's really cool that NASA chose this watch for the Apollo mission, and it was, like, a version of this was flight certified. The Hesalite version is the true NASA watch and the Moon watch, but I really like this model and kind of the connection of the model overall to that program. The second thing I love about this watch is its clean design. I think a lot of watches go a little overboard with the thickness of the hands and lines, or have a lot of design elements in there, but I think this watch really kind of keeps it simple. I love just the pure black and white hands. I think it makes it super legible, and I think the design overall is pretty restrained and very nice. I think it's an elegant design. I think it works pretty well as either kind of a dressier watch, obviously not a dress watch, but for a sport watch I think it looks pretty nice in that respect. I also really love the layout of the watch. I think the subdials are a really nice size. They're clean. They're not like some models where they really make the subdials stand out. I just love that they're slightly recessed, so I think it makes them super legible. It doesn't detract from the design. I think it makes the watch look really nice. I also love that the counters just have 3 numbers apiece, except for the hour counter there. So I think that also aids to the cleanliness of the design. I also like when it sits on your wrist. It sits pretty thin, even though it is, I wouldn't say a thick watch, but it has some thickness to it, but I think it kind of really hides with the design that they use for the case. Because the crystal kind of sits above the bezel, and the bezel has that kind of relief underneath it, I think it gives the impression that it's a little thinner than it actually is, and then it kind of sits just above the wrist there, even though there's some more height to it underneath. So I think it looks really thin, really elegant, and I really love that about the design. Furthermore, I really like the curved crystal. I think that adds a nice kind of touch to the watch. If you look at it in different angles, you can kind of see into the area of the dial there, and I think it really kind of gives a cool effect with that curve on the sapphire there. The third thing I love about this watch is the movement. It's based off a Lamania movement, but I think Omega does a really nice job finishing the movement and making it look really nice in this watch. This is the Sapphire Sandwich model, so not all Speedmasters come with that open case pack, and I think that's kind of really a shame because the movement looks so nice in there. They really did a good job polishing it and showcasing kind of all the details of that movement. The fourth thing I love about this watch is the chronograph. I think it's a really nice feature to have, and I really love how it operates. You got the really quick return function, and I personally love that minute counter, the jumping minutes. I think it makes it really extra legible because it's clearly on an indice. It's not halfway between a minute ever, except for like the couple seconds up on top there, which I can show you. I found the chronograph super useful. I didn't really know what I'd use it for initially, but I rarely use my phone for timing because this is so convenient. I just have this on my wrist. In addition to the chronograph, I've also used the tachometer every now and then. The time that really sticks out in my mind, I was in an airplane and we were flying over some 1 mile divided roads. So you had a good grid pattern to judge it off of, and I started the tachometer when it looked like we passed one road, and then stopped it when we passed the next mile. So I got that the airplane was traveling at about 500 or a little bit above miles an hour, which is just about right about the right speed for that model of aircraft. Going back to the movement, I also think it's super cool how you can see the chronograph operation from the back as well. You can see those center gears engage and disengage when you start and stop the chronograph. Finally, the fifth thing I love about the Speedmaster is that those who know what the Speedmaster is know, and not many other people do, which I think is actually a positive thing. If you walk down the street wearing a Rolex, I think it's fairly flashy, and I think a lot of people that don't necessarily love watches still know what that is. But I kind of like that the Speedmaster is its own thing, and people who love Speedmasters know it immediately, and they really. I think everyone that has a Speedmaster loves the history behind it and loves what the watch represents and what it is. I've met several people because I've had a Speedmaster. I wear it around, and admittedly in an aerospace engineering school, so I don't know if more people are interested in this kind of thing. But several people have kind of asked me about it, or I've met some other people that also have a Speedmaster, so we've talked about that. So that's been a really nice thing. Another person that noticed my Speedmaster was actually an astronaut, Mike Ehrenhart. I was touring NASA at Houston, and he spotted my watch, so we had a nice conversation about that, which was really cool. So all in all, I really love the Speedmaster. It's what I've worn pretty much every day for the last 4.5 years. And it suffered some abuse, but I love having it with me. It's nice to always have the chronograph, and I love just wearing the Speedmaster around. It's super cool. So thanks for watching. If you think this video earned your subscription, feel free to subscribe and like or comment as you see fit. I should have some other videos coming out soon, kind of things I maybe don't like quite as much about the Speedmaster, and looking to do some other watch reviews as well. So thanks for watching. See you guys.